Yeah, just grateful for the win today. We knew Lil Rock would make us grind it out, and low scoring. Just the way that they manage the game. You know, Coach Foley is a legendary coach, and so you have to exhibit patience, and it's just a different style of basketball that allows them to manage the game as much as possible. I thought that. So it was expected for it to be low scoring. Was pleased that we were able to knock down more threes. You know, our percentages hurt a lot in the ballroom in the Bahamas. That was very difficult for us to shoot in there. So to come back and shoot better, you know, from the 3 point was good. And then, you know, to come out and have a 20-point fourth quarter, that surge, in order for us to secure the win, there were some good things I saw from it.
Coach, this going off of this in the fourth quarter. How did you see your teams progress from the time that
Yeah.
Love was able to close in? To
Well, I thought we really started to hunker down, and we worked on a little zone in the third quarter, and you know that allowed them to get a little rhythm and get going. But and so they had the momentum, and I thought when I made the sub and started getting back to playing our man, we looked really good. You know, we were focused, we were locked in. They make you play in a unique way. So defensively, we did some things that we don't normally do. But still, we were able to stay in front of them. And because we were getting stops, we were able to pull and push on the offensive end. And I thought Zakiya came in and really upped the tempo for us. And with that group, it was like a subgroup that just came in and really started to up the tempo for us to give us that momentum.
I'm like, this is the play of Madison Scott just hitting the 1,000 mark.
Yeah, truly happy for Maddie. You know, I at one point I was like, is she not gonna get 1,000 points today? I mean, it's 4 points. You know, uh, but I think she was more focused on making sure we were in the right place. She was doing a lot of talking and stuff like that. And then in her pure fashion, she steps up when she needs to. 100% from the field. So we would have wished for her to do that a little bit more earlier and sooner. But really happy for Maddie. She's deserving of it, and I think she will continue to blossom. I know it didn't look like a monster game for her, but there was some stuff she did that don't show up in the stat sheet from a leadership standpoint. Just hearing her in the huddles, hearing her at the halftime, we really needed.
Stevie Collins with 11 points.
Yeah, I mean, Snudder's a starter for us. You know, Snudder. I just have the luxury where I don't have to start her, but Snudder is a starter for us. She definitely understands how we want to play. She's reliable both on the offensive and defensive end, and I was really pleased with her shot selection today. So, we're not surprised by that. We expect Snudder to, hit threes, get to the basket, and be solid defensively.
You had 19 turnovers in the game. Do you attribute that at all to offense trying to figure out a way to work together without KK? Or
No, I thought we would have had 19 if she was there. I just think Lil Rock does that to you. The way they play. A couple of them were charges. They would just like they'll slide up under you. This new rule right now is just an adjustment for officials. So they're calling charges, not blocks anymore, putting us in some tough situations. And then just the decision making that we had they just make you play that game. I think we had that many turnovers even last year. So I don't know that it was one of those games where it was like, oh, we didn't have KK, so we couldn't have got it. We shot 36% from the three. It would have been good to have another ball handler to push the tempo. But, it's just the way they make you play. And that's something that, and then if you look at the turnovers, you got Maddie with 4. Like, why does Maddie have 4? She doesn't even have the ball that much, And so, and then Quee got 2 for charges, Slim 2, like Rita 3. These are people that should not have any turnovers. So I don't know how much it was missing her. It was just our lack of like being patient and understanding this style of play and doing what we needed to do.
Coach, go off of that with KK. Is there a possibility for KK to get another red shirt?
Yeah, well, hopefully, according to the rules, she should have it. She hadn't played in 30% of the games, and this didn't happen in the second half of the season, and it's season ending. And so hopefully she will get another year. But right now we got to continue to build and grow and focus on, getting our freshman PGs to come along and just allowing everybody to just get comfortable with stepping up and, like you said, playing without her. I didn't think that was a reason why we only scored 58 points, but it is a reality that we have to get adjusted playing without her,
Going off of that, the 58 points, 29 of them being bench points. How key is your bench?
Yeah, man, it's tremendous. They showed up in the Bahamas too. They showed up in the Bahamas as well. And one of the things I said before in interviews, I wanted to use non-conference play to develop our bench. Here's the thing: I want to play every game we play. I want to win, but maybe that doesn't happen. But we need to develop our bench because we need to develop depth. So when situations, God forbid, if another situation happens and we have to go without someone else is ready to step up, like Maria was stepped up in the Michigan game, like Zakaya stepped up tonight. And so today. So we have to just continue to develop the pieces that we need because we don't have stars. I look at some of these games, their stars are going for 30, 25, 24. We're a star-studded team. And that's what we're always going to be here at Ole Miss. I don't know that we'll ever luck up and get that, top 5 player in the country. So we want to do it consistently as a group. And that's something that makes me proud when I see our bench points 29 to their bench points 9. It just is a credit to our bench and our depth.
Speaking of Maria, how was her first start, and is that what you're going to go with moving forward, or you might change it up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got to see. Maria is someone that I believe in, the team believes in. It is going to be an adjustment because KK was such a dominating presence, whereas Maria is just a purist of the game and wants the game to be played the right way. And so there were a lot of times KK would get us out of jams because she would just take it in her own hands, whereas Maria wants everybody to be involved. So just getting used to cutting, moving, not watching, because sometimes you could just, enjoy watching KK play, but Maria is not that type of player. But I think this is like really quality for her. I thought she had an okay game. I've seen her play better, but, she can shoot it, she can score it, and we're going to continue to pour into her and Zakaya as we continue to build.
Any other questions? Great, thanks everyone.
Thank you.